Hey, what's up? Welcome to DSTV's Man Cave, which is a brand new digital program where we talk about all things DSTV. My name is G Money. Thank you for joining me. This is the first one, so it's going to be one of the best ones. And I'm joined by Famweri, one of my good friends from Twitter. How you doing, brother?
I'm good, G Money.
Good to have you. Good to have you on the show. The very first one. We're about to make history.
Good to be with you here.
Yeah, and we're going to talk about the thing that we love. We're going to talk about football and a few other things that you can find on DSTV. First of all, which team do you support?
Chelsea.
You're a Chelsea fan?
In the Premier League.
Ah, and who did you support in Europe? Barcelona, okay. Well, I must honestly say that you guys in the Premier League, and we'll talk about the Premier League on DSTV because DSTV is the home of the Premier League in Africa. You guys, I think, are definitely one of the top contenders for the Premier League title this season.
We are the best at the moment.
At the moment?
At the moment, you're the best.
Yeah. I mean, like, whenever I talk about Chelsea, I always think about Frank Lampard as that rich kid whose dad gave him all the toys he wanted to go out there because his transfer activity was really good. I mean, he brought in some great midfielders, strikers, and he showed up. He's got a new keeper as well. So I think definitely Chelsea are one of the contenders. I'm an Arsenal fan. So, well.
You don't have a right to speak right now.
This is how bad it is, right? I'm actually wearing an Arsenal jersey underneath my shirt, but I thought to myself, for the very first Man Cave, let me not reveal my allegiances too early. Now, like I said, DSTV is the home of the Premier League. And if, like me, you're one of those guys who always just pays your bill when you get the error message up on your screen, remember you can clear all those error messages and get much more help by dialing *423# from your handset. That takes you into the world of DSTV. Now, the Premier League, like we said, Chelsea looking good, Liverpool looking good, Manchester United looking something right now, and Man City beginning to fire. I think that when I look at some of the content which is offered during December on DSTV, I'm excited about some of these games that are coming up. Like, I was looking at some of the games coming through. For example, Everton versus Arsenal, that's on the 19th of December. Now, let me talk about that real quick. How do you rate Everton, first of all?
Everton, they are on good form right now. If you look at Calvert-Lewin,
right. Yes, leading in the Premier League at the moment.
Yeah, he has 11 goals, I think, at the moment. But they will not win anything.
Right. Not even a little FA Cup or something, no?
They can't. Carlo Ancelotti is going nowhere. He will actually be fired when those players there will be some they will lag too. Yeah, because they're not at the top.
I think Arsenal, Everton started really well. I still think they're a team in transition. I mean, some great signings have come in, to Everton. Plus, they had some good players anyway. So I think he's probably got another year or two before we can start talking about any kind of silverware, if he lasts that long.
He won't last because, first of all, these players, they're on good form.
Right. But
they're not good players. Bad players on good form.
Right.
Or average players.
On good form.
On good form.
You don't rate Calvert-Lewin?
Okay, like...
He's the one who's there, that's why he's scoring.
He's like a first half of the season wonder, not the full season wonder.
Okay. And, Everton versus Arsenal. Arsenal going to Goodison Park. I mean, that's a tough trip for Arsenal.
It's a tough trip, but Arteta has to protect his job.
Right.
And most definitely they will beat Everton.
Right. You think so? They'll beat Everton at Goodison Park?
Yeah, they'll beat Everton because Arteta is under pressure.
Right.
So, and he wants to retain his job.
Right.
So he will have to, it's a must-win game for him.
Right. I wish I had your level of confidence in my own team. Don't forget, this is the Man Cave, the very first one. I'm G Money, from where he's in the place with me as well. And we're just dissecting some of the football coming up during this month on DSTV. Everton, Arsenal. Arsenal traditionally should win that game, but I think it's going to be a lot closer than people realize. Now, on the 20th of December, Spurs versus Leicester. Now, this is a game that I probably wouldn't even care about 5 years ago. I'd have been like, whatever, North London is red, Spurs are bottlers. But as we can see, Mourinho seems to have something going on at Spurs right now. I mean, for the first time in a long time, he's got a squad who seem genuinely happy to play for him. And I think that Mourinho you know, always in the second season whenever he takes over a team, even when he was at Chelsea, that's when he's at his most dangerous. In Son and Harry Kane, potentially, probably the top two duo in the Premier League right now.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
I mean, I'm an Arsenal fan, but I have them in my fantasy Premier League.
I also do have them.
Exactly,
Yeah,
you know.
yeah.
So I mean, when we see Leicester as well, Brendan Rodgers, he's building something at Leicester as well. How do you see that game going?
That game, Mourinho will win.
Yeah.
Tottenham Spurs will beat Leicester.
Right.
Because if you look the depth Tottenham has, look at players like Bale.
Right.
They want to prove themselves, right?
Right.
The combination between Kane and Son, they are like siblings.
Yeah, it is.
I mean, they're like siblings.
You know, it's like one scores while one assists while one scores.
Yeah.
Wow.
So Mourinho must beat it. He will beat. I'm sure about that. I'm not even like he will. I'm sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, well, you know, as an Arsenal fan, I can't wish Spurs good luck.
Right.
So I'm Team Leicester in that game there. Your game on the weekend of the 21st of December is Chelsea versus West Ham. Now, London derby. Chelsea, the form team, but you know when it comes to like a London derby, anything can happen.
True.
You know? So how do you see that one? Chelsea are at home, at the Bridge.
That's a good match for us, and Lampard will beat West Ham.
Yeah?
I'm sure.
You should, like, you know, yeah?
You will ask me.
All right, I will hit you up on Twitter when that match takes place.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be closer than you probably think, because I think that the thing with West Ham is that you don't know which team's going to turn up. You don't know if it's a team that's going to turn up that can, you know, beat United or beat City, or you know, or it's going to be a team that's going to be dropped 5-0. You just don't know who turns up. And I always like to give West Ham the benefit of the doubt. And it's Christmas. I don't know. You know, there's a lot of games, so we'll see. You know, Chelsea still in Europe. You know, things I don't know. We'll still see what's going on there. Now, the game that I'm going to enjoy dissecting, Manchester United. And for those of you who are watching the Man Cave, and I know you follow me on Instagram, you follow me on Twitter. You know, one of my biggest pastimes in life is getting on the nerves of Manchester United fans. So if you're a Manchester United fan, actually watch. Don't skip this bit. Manchester United versus Leeds. Let me give this some context. Traditionally, Leeds are a big club, a big Premier League club. Now, obviously, they haven't been in the Premier League for a while, obviously, right?
True.
But if you go back to like the 80s and the early 90s, this was a huge game. As a matter of fact, what many of the new school Man United fans probably wouldn't know, Eric Cantona actually joined Manchester United from Leeds. So that gives you some context of the history, and there's a bit of a story of how at the time Sir Alex Ferguson was the manager of Manchester United, and Howard Wilkinson was the manager of Leeds at the time. And literally, Wilkinson called Sir Alex Ferguson and said, listen, I've got a player, no lie, he's too good for this club.
Yeah.
And that's how Cantona ended up at Manchester United. So this game is a big game. Leeds have come up, obviously. They've got one of the highest work rates in the Premier League. How do you rate Leeds, by the way?
Leeds is a good team, but just like Everton, they are going nowhere.
Really?
Yeah, but I rate one player, Bamford.
Bamford's a goal scorer.
He was a Chelsea player, so.
Yes. I see your Chelsea fans' allegiances, you know. I suppose you're also a Demba Ba fan as well, like, because he used to be a Chelsea player as well. I think that given the history of this fixture, the emotions surrounding Ole, because you know Ole is the original. I call him like a popcorn manager. You know, like when you're making popcorn at home and you hear brrr, brrr, then it goes quiet, and just as you think it's ready, you hear one more pop.
Yeah.
That's Ole for me. He's a popcorn manager. You don't know which team's is gonna turn up.
True.
I mean, a few weeks ago when they were playing in the Champions League, he got his tactics completely wrong against RB Leipzig. This game, I think, is going to be one of the biggest games of December. Remember, all these games are live on DStv because they are the home of the Premier League in Africa. I think this game will be a bit more of a challenge to Ole than we give credit.
But I think Ole will beat West Ham. Because, like, if you look right now, it's either he beat West Ham or he Ole out or he gets fired.
Right.
Right?
Right.
So he has to get his subs
He
right.
has to beat Leeds.
He has to beat Leeds. Yeah.
This, I think, by now, it's not even a case of maybe or could be. He has to.
The same case with Ole, the same case with Arteta. They have to improve.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
For them to remain coaches of their respective clubs.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, I don't want to go too deep into the Champions League, but you're a Chelsea fan, so I have to ask you. You
Yeah.
guys are still in the Champions League. How far do you think you guys can get?
We might get knocked out round of 16.
Round of 16, okay.
Yeah. But I'm a Barcelona guy, so I think Barcelona will win the cup.
Yeah, but a few weeks ago, man, Barcelona caught a cold at Juventus, man. I mean, that was maybe the last time we were going to see Ronaldo and Messi going head to head.
Yeah.
And it's actually amazing. I mean, I can tell you as somebody who's lived in a few places, we get to consume more football courtesy of DSTV, big up DSTV. We get to consume more football on the continent than many people do around the world.
Yeah.
And I remember I was watching that game a few weeks ago, and I'm thinking this, like, if you're a DSTV subscriber, you've seen the journey of Ronaldo and Messi from almost inception to now. And it was kind of sad watching that game because I thought to myself, we have been good enough and, you know, via DSTV to really see two of the greatest footballers. Because I can remember, I mean, I can't remember seeing, you know, Maradona or Zidane or one of those guys playing week in, week out. But we've been able to see Messi and Ronaldo week in, week out, courtesy of DSTV. So even before I say anything, thank you, DSTV, for that, because you have given us the window into the world of two of the greatest footballers ever. Are you a Ronaldo guy or a Messi guy? Messi, why?
Messi, because he's so natural. Messi is like, how can I describe him? I can't even describe that man.
Right.
He's so natural. He's like, God said, let there be Messi who will play football.
Right.
So like his business in this world is only play football,
Just football.
then go home.
I was like you for a long time in terms of just being a Messi fan. And in terms of pure ability, I don't think anybody will doubt and say that he's one of the greatest. But what I like about Ronaldo is I think Ronaldo has put in the effort to be amongst the legends, you know, as in the way he lives his life, the way he looks after his body. Because like they did a test a few. I watched something on SuperSport. I think it was last year, where they said that they analyzed his body, and he was 34 at the time, and he had the body of like a 25-year-old. So this guy eats right, sleeps right, does everything scientifically, and I think that's something to be applauded as well. And if you think about his record in terms of international, what he's done for Portugal, you know, he's actually won something for Portugal. That conversation will run and run though. And DSTV is not just about football, so let's just kind of veer this off a little bit. When you're not watching football, what sort of stuff do you watch on TV?
Football. When I'm not watching football, mostly I do watch movies.
Well, DSTV is the home of movies as well, so
I do watch
most
movies
definitely.
when I'm
When you're chilling.
when I'm chilling in the house, or music.
Or music. Well, let me tell you, obviously DSTV have got some of the best music channels as well.
Yeah.
One thing that I found myself doing during the lockdown with COVID was getting more and more into documentaries. Because I have my attention span, you know, I think because I watch so much football, my attention span is just like, so you put on a movie for 2 hours, after 25 minutes I'm thinking, is there any football that I can watch? But I found myself engaging in a lot of documentaries, and one that really I will share with you and share with everyone watching. There's a documentary called America's Book of Secrets. Now, with everything going on in America right now, and you know, they've recently had their election, what I loved about this documentary was the fact that America as a world power has done so many things that we probably will never know about. But also America, as one of the world's greatest democracies, has a duty to open up its books now and again so that we can see exactly what they did. And every so often you get these stories that come out of the lawmaking side of America, and you think to yourself, this cannot actually be true, and it's actually a true story.
Yeah.
So when I found that documentary, America's Book of Secrets, I just stumbled upon it on DSTV, and bro, I have been glued to that thing. Like so many different stories that you would not even think could make it in like a real that governments and lawmakers have done in America. So that's one documentary I wanna actually recommend that to everyone who's watching. And there's another one. Are you into cars?
I'm not a car guy.
Do you know what, bro? Give me 5. I'm not a car guy either, but the history of cars is something that I think I really got interested in because of this other documentary. It's called The Cars That Made the World. And this documentary here, it talks about the development of the car industry. So obviously, you know, the car industry, you can think about people like Henry Ford and those guys who made the first vehicles, right?
Yeah.
But the car industry in Europe,
Yeah.
the car industry in Japan,
Yeah.
or in Asia, and the car industry in America, they're all so different. And this documentary kind of breaks down how the various industries have developed globally. And it shows how all the global forces merge to make the car industry what it is worldwide. For me, it was a fascinating watch. And that's another good thing about DSTV. Also, you know, with the catch-up service they have, I'm telling you about it now. You can go and jump onto your Explorer and you can go back and watch that. You can binge watch that series. So definitely, I'm giving you the heads up on that. Those are a couple of documentaries you might want to check out. Thanks for coming through, my G.
Thank you.
Like I said, this is the very first edition of the Man Cave. I think we're onto something here. I think DSTV is definitely onto something here. And I also think that if you, like I said, I'm going to put my hands up. I'm the guy who pays the DSTV bill when I get the little envelope in the corner of the screen. For all of your DSTV information, let's dial *423#. That's *423#, and you can clear your error codes, check up on your accounts, and see how your DSTV account is performing. This has been the Man Cave. My name's G Money. Pick up yourself, man. How can they follow you, man?
Follow me on Twitter.
Twitter, yeah?
At the Mweri.
The Mweri.
The Nyandaro's finest.
Nyanduro's finest. This has been the Man Cave, man. We out the building. Peace.